Hey, what's up guys? This is Phoenix from Rise Again Vintage here, back with another video. And then on this episode, I just wanted to show something different. A lot of people ask me, hey, what do you collect? Are you into t-shirts, collectibles, everything like that? And one of my main kind of things I'm into, of course, is wrestling tees. And I don't want to show the whole entire collection today. I just thought it'd be cool to kind of show my top 5 in my wrestling tee collection. It's something that I have a lot of passion for. I love wrestling. I love the Attitude Era, even Ruthless Aggression, which is like, early 2000s, things like that. I just grew up watching wrestling, and I love the graphics of the t-shirts, from that era. Like, they just came out with so many great graphics, from double-sided to even just the single stuff. And then to have some of my favorite wrestlers is not only like nostalgic, but also just really cool to have. There's just really great designs, and it's probably my favorite thing to collect. Some of you guys may know I'm also into like promo t-shirts, a couple rock t-shirts, things like that, but wrestling's for sure my number one. And I just want to show you guys my top 5, and this was tough too to decide in the collection, but yeah, so just to let you guys know before we start, you guys can subscribe. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I will show my full collection when we reach 1,000 subscribers. On top of that, just thank you so much for the feedback that I've had on these past videos. I definitely appreciate it. But let's get into some t-shirts, man. This is my top 5 of my wrestling t-shirt collection. All right, guys. So starting with number 5 in this top 5 of my wrestling t-shirt collection. It's one that's actually not only a wrestling t-shirt, but it's also a video game promo t-shirt. And that is this WCW NWO Revenge promo t-shirt. Got that N64 logo right there. Let me show you guys. I've showed this in a couple previous videos for sure, and you probably see me wearing it, but this is just one of my favorite t-shirts I have. I've been looking for it for a long time. I finally got it last summer. I love that back too. Revenge is just too sweet. October, was that 98, 98, yep. That THQ on there too. Like, there's so many parts to this t-shirt that I love. Like, first of all, WCW NWO Revenge, one of my favorite games. On top of that, not only do you have, you got Goldberg on there, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, but I'm a sucker for like logos and things like that. So that THQ logo, THQ provided some of my favorite memories. Growing up, they had the licensing to a lot of the wrestling games, things like that. I don't even think they're around anymore, which is crazy. And then the little Nintendo 64 logo. Nintendo 64 and PlayStation 1 are probably my 2 favorite systems. I wish I would have it back. I need to go maybe do some retro game hunting, maybe get back into that. But I just love this so much. Like, it's such a great t-shirt. Definitely wear it a lot. And I do want to say shout out to the homie Joel, 2000 Serene. He hooked me up on that t-shirt. And it has, some sentimental value too, because I wore that when we threw an event last summer. And whenever I wear things to events, I usually try to keep them because you just, you remember, doing the events and everything like that. But just strictly wrestling wise, Goldberg, Raven, Kevin Nash, Hulk Hogan, that's such a great crew. And then again, one of my favorite video games. Countless hours playing that video game. Even recently, I'm still playing that video game. So yep, that's gonna be my number 5. Let's take a look at number 4 and see what we got. This is one that I've wanted for so long. I do want to say shout out to the homie Tony for hooking it up on this one. We actually did a deal at a flea market last summer, and I bought some personals from him. It's this Road Dogg, Roll the Dog the Bone t-shirt. I'll show you guys this. It's so cool. I'm a big fan of Road Dogg. He was one of my favorite wrestlers. But the cool thing about this is, and Tony actually told me about this in his collection video, is there's 2 versions of this shirt. So I don't know if you guys can tell, but on the bone there's 420 on there. So they produced this shirt with and without the 420 crossed on the bones there. And so I think that's just like another added bonus to this t-shirt. Not only is the front graphic sick, but the back and it being that version is just really cool. On top of that, I'm a big Road Dogg fan, like I said. The fade is perfect on there. It has that boxy kind of fit too, and I'm a sucker for, you know, the way t-shirts fit, the fades. Just I'm into it deep. So like everything, and I'm sure my fellow, you know, vintage t-shirt collectors understand too. So, you know, if the fit's right and the fade is beautiful, like it just adds so much to, you know, the love for that specific t-shirt. So it's really cool to have. I think that is actually one of my only DX shirts, which is really cool. And I'm looking for one. And if you guys have it, hit me up. Is one with the whole entire crew on there. So like China, X-Pac, Billy Gunn, Triple H, Sean, everybody on there. I've seen some, but you know, a lot of them are like size larges and stuff. But yeah, I mean, Road Dogg, I mean, he's just one of my favorites. That entrance for the New Age Outlaws is like just one of my favorites, and to have it in the collection, again, shout out to Tony for that. It's one I wear a lot, man. It's one of my favorites, and you know, I'm definitely. You guys will start to see the kind of the vibe of, you know, what wrestlers I collect and what kind of type of wrestling tees I collect too. So let's get into number 3 though. So getting into number 3. I mean, the last 3 in my opinion are bangers, but this number 3 is probably one I've been looking in my most recent pickup out of these top 5s, but one of my favorites that I've had probably ever. And I do want to say, again, as I mentioned in my recent pickups video, shout out to Saved by the Vintage for this one, man. I definitely appreciate it. And it's this Dudley Boys, man. I've been looking for a Dudley Boys, and this is Dudley Boys, and it says, "Thou shalt not mess with the Dudleys," with that broken table on there. I mean, so crazy. Look at that. Love that so much. And then that table on the back there. I mean, it's so cool to have this shirt. Because I'm sure you guys know too, if you collect, like and collect anything, but if you look at something for so long, like I would look and search the internet for this t-shirt and finally finding it, and for a good price too. He hooked it up. He watched, you know, the YouTube channel and everything, so shout out to him. But it's just really cool to get finally in the possession. I've been wearing it a lot, and I just got this shirt, I think like a month ago or something. And so to get it and then just, you know, wear it, and you know, to see the fit, and it's just, and the fit's really good too, and the graphics are amazing. And you know, I know probably some of you guys maybe thought that was gonna be my number 1 tee, but you're gonna be in for a surprise what the number 1 tee is gonna be. But yeah, Dudley Boys, one of my favorite tag teams. I was a big tag team wrestling fan, you know, in that Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression too. I mean, there's just so many. The triple threats tag team matches between, you know, Edge and Christian and the Hardy Boys and Dudley Boys are just some of my favorite matches of all time. Like the TLC matches, you know, what they did was just crazy. So I remember watching that, and it was just wild, man. Like you seeing some of those, you know, the moves that they did, and I remember the Dudley Boys, you know, just with the tables, and I forgot who Dudley, Bubba Ray Dudley powerbomb, I forgot her name. It was like an older lady, she was an older wrestler, into a table. I remember watching that, and I still remember that. And just, you know, some of their moves, and it was just, you know, my favorite tag team probably. I mean, the Hardy Boys were awesome, but there's just something about the Dudley Boys that I loved. And yeah, so that's my number 3 t-shirt. Now get into my final 2, 2 that mean a lot to me, man. There's 2 I've been looking for a long time. And the number 2, it may surprise you if you guys know and see my Instagram and everything of t-shirts I posted. It's this Bret Hart, man. I love this shirt. Shout out to Digs for Fire for this one. The same flea market I got that Road Dogg t-shirt from, I actually bought this as well from Mike. And I just love this t-shirt so much. Just that all over print with Bret's face. It's just so sick. Just double-sided. You can't go wrong with it. The other thing I love about this is that official WF tag on there. I mean, you can't beat that. Like, that's so, it's just crazy, man. Like, I love this shirt so much. It's one that I actually haven't worn that much, which I need to for sure. I was waiting to the summer to start wearing it, but I look at it so much. It's just so cool to see, and that's probably my most expensive shirt too that I've paid for. And he hooked it up, man. We did like a trade also with cash on top and everything. So to get that shirt when, you know, I never thought I would have it, because I tend not to spend a bunch of money on shirts, but when I see something that I really want, I gotta get it, man. It's just, you know, it's just how I am. So to get that in the collection is just so cool. Bret Hart, you know, just such a great wrestler. If you guys, you know, are into wrestling and watch back to some of his matches, you know, even the classic Iron Man match with Shawn Michaels is probably one of my favorite matches. Just such a good wrestler. You know, the WrestleMania with Stone Cold Steve Austin is such a good match too. Like, he just puts on really good matches, and just one of my favorite wrestlers. My dad and I would watch him a lot, so it's just really cool to have. And just again, that all over print. And then from that series too, I'm still looking. They had the Undertaker, the Shawn Michaels. I think they have a Gold Dust also. I'm looking to complete it, but those prices are crazy. They're like $300 each, I think. So you know, I'm still on the lookout, so hopefully I can find some steals to get those. But yep, that's my number 2. So finally, I want to show you guys my number 1 t-shirt. And when you see it, you may be like, dude, you just showed like, you know, 3 bangers. Like, why is this your number 1 t-shirt? So as you guys know, as vintage t-shirt collectors, it's about the fit. It's about, you know, at least for me, it's about the fit. It's about the fade, you know, just everything, the story behind it. And so my number 1 t-shirt, you guys have probably seen me wear this a lot, is my Sting t-shirt. I love this t-shirt so much. The graphic is so sick. Again, shout out to Tony. This is, I think, the first purchase I ever made from Tony, or Vice Iowa City. You guys check him out on Instagram. I was doing a pop-up with Bowie in Austin, in East Village in Des Moines, and they came down to come support and shop and everything, and I knew he had this, and I was like, bro, you gotta bring it. And he gave it to me for a steal. I swear, like, I think, you know, we show love, you know, for collectors and stuff, especially like when you become homies, like we show love on prices just because we know that like you're gonna appreciate it. And I swear I got this for like 20 to 30 bucks, and it's just such a crazy t-shirt. I've worn it so much, like, crazy enough, like, I don't know if you guys can tell on camera like the fade on this, but this was originally like basically a brand new t-shirt. And the other part I think is crazy about this is it's actually on a Giant tag, which is like wild. Like, when would you ever see, I don't think I've ever seen a wrestling tee on a Giant tag. Like, it's wild. On top of that, like, I've built this, you know, beautiful fade to it, the cracking on the logo starting to go, like, it's just so crazy, like, to see. And on top of that, like, I figured it out one day when I just came home and hadn't turned on the lights yet from coming home. It's actually glow in the dark too, so it's just like the best of both worlds, this t-shirt. You got a perfect fade, you got a perfect, you know, graphic. I'm a big Sting fan. Just such a sick t-shirt, just so cool. Giant tag, you never thought you would see that with a wrestling t-shirt. And I know it may surprise you guys. I mean, Brett, you know, that'd probably be some of your guys' number 1s. The Dudley Boys, I know a lot of people look after, but yeah, that Sting t-shirt, I don't know why. That was probably, I just started collecting not too long ago, like, because I used to collect sneakers. I was always thrifting and into vintage and everything. So that was probably one of my first t-shirts when I got back into, you know, collecting and actually trying to buy like vintage and everything. This is back like, I think 17, 16 or something. So to get that in the collection is just really cool. And yeah, man, just shout out to Tony and shout out to everyone who hooked me up on these deals and provided, you know, some of my favorite, you know, pieces out of my collection. And, you know, what's your guys' favorite collection? That's something I always want to know. You know, leave it, or what do you collect, I should say. You know, leave it in the comments below. I do want to thank you guys for watching. Again, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can follow me on Instagram at Rise Again Vintage. You can follow anything Rise Again Media related on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything like that at Rise Again Create. Again, I want to thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think of my collection, my top 5, I should say, wrestling t-shirts. Yeah, shoot me DMs, anything like that. And if you got any wrestling, you know, bigger XL or double X, let me know, hit me up. I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.